Hello all. In this video I will be talking about sets in Python. And first of all let's define a set named as set A. And as I have said yesterday, set should be defined with curly braces, and the elements can be integers like 4, 5, or strings like ABC. Okay, or even can be a floating digit. Okay, so now the set is defined, and this is how we define a set. And if I just want to print set A, let's just remove the space over here, and if I just print the set A, so we will be getting all the elements of set A, right? So meanwhile let's look at the next code. That is, we can also like convert yeah, well, the comma is not printed over here, so now it must be fine. All right, so now the second one is converting a list into sets. Okay, into a set. So you must be remembering what a list is and how it functions, right? So similar to tuples, a set can also be made from lists. Okay, so if I have a list named as A, okay, A equals to, list is defined using square brackets and 5 comma 9 comma uh, list to set. Okay, some random string, and one integer, one floating value. All right, so one integer, one floating value, and then a string. Everything is separated by a comma. So now I am just defining a list over here, and let us just add one more element, which is 5. Okay, so basically I am just trying to do what I am just trying to do is uh, I'm just trying to create a list with 4 elements in it. Okay, so now we must be knowing that A of if we just print A, we will be getting all the elements of the list 5, 9.68, list to set, and then 5. Okay, because duplicacy of values is allowed in lists, so this 5 is not cancelled here. Okay, but if we just convert this list into the set, okay, so let us just convert it into set. B equals to uh, we just have to use this function set of A. Okay, the name of the list is A, and we are converting into sets. Okay, and then we are storing in B. So now a set is created in the name of B, but the list will be the same. Okay, now I will be just printing B also. Print B. So if we are just converting the same list into a set, so what changes can we expect in the set? Will it be the same as the above list? The elements will be the same, or will there be any differences? Let's see. So there will obviously be a difference of one element, which is 5, because in sets the duplicacy of elements is not allowed. So one of these 5 these two fives will be removed from the set. Okay, so similarly the first 5 is removed, and we can also look at it like this. Since this one is a proof that this proves that sets only store unique elements. Unique elements. Okay. So now this has proved that sets only store unique elements, and we can also prove the second feature of the set, and that is sets are unorganized, right? Unorganized, whereas lists are organized. So let us just try to access one particular element of a list, like A of uh, of the index 2. Okay, A of 2. Let's say 1. Okay, and I'm just printing this. Print A of 1. Let us stop these two. We'll keep them, no issues. And then I will be printing the same with print B of 1. Okay, so what I'm just trying to do is I'm just trying to access element which is in the 0 and first index of A and also of B. So we must be getting, as per the theory, we must be getting 9.68 from list A and list to set string from from the set B, right? But let's see whether this is possible or not, because the sets are unorganized, right? See, we got a type error saying set object does not support indexing. Okay, this itself proves that sets are unorganized. All right. So now if we want to access an element, we have to print the whole set. Only then it will work. All right. So we cannot access a single element. So this must be clear. And the second one is set operations. Set operations. Okay. So now we will be looking at set operations. So let us define a set. C equals to, opening the curly brackets, and then I'm giving some elements 9 comma 11.56 comma uh, random string. Okay, so now I just gave some three elements to a set which is named as C, right? So now what I'm just trying to do is I'm just trying to perform some set operations onto this set. Okay, like there is one known as addition, and then we also have removal, removing elements. All right, so we have several set operations like adding an element, removing an element, or else uh, using in commands. Okay, and etc, difference, etc. So we'll perform all these set operations onto this set. Okay, so now let us add some elements to this set. Okay, so now what I'm just trying to do is C dot add. So this is how we add elements to a set. C dot add, and then open whatever element you want to add to this set. Okay, if I want to add some element like 951. Okay, a integer 951. I just want to add this integer to the set C. Okay, so now this is how we add a set, we add a element. Okay, if we want to add a string, we have to use like this. All right, so now let's see, add the element and then print the resulting string, print C. Okay, so we'll be getting this element in the set, somewhere in the set, 9 11.6 random string and then 951. Okay, we got this, we got added. And there is one more thing called as remove. Okay, we will also perform the removing over here. So now I am just doing c dot remove. I just want to remove one element from this. Let us say the string, this string. Okay, I'm just trying to remove random string, and let's see whether it's removed or not. Right, so 9 11.56 and then 951, the random string, this is will removed. Okay, so now we can actually say that sets are mutable. So this one actually proves that sets are mutable. Right, because we can actually make changes to them. Unlike lists and tuples, unlike tuples, we can actually mutate them, we can actually change the values. All right, and then after the removal we have something called as in. Okay, so in command, I will just write it separately over here, in command. Okay, so this command is basically used to verify whether a element is present inside the set or not. Okay, so to check this we can actually use like 9 in. Okay, just in space and then the set which we are intending to check. Okay, 9 in C, this is the question, and then we will be getting the answer. If 9 is present inside the set C, we will be getting true. If not, it's false. Okay, let's check for 951. 951 is also present, right? True. Let us check for the string, random string. Okay, let's check for the random string. We have just now removed the random string from C, right? So that's why this is false. Now let us add the random string to it and then check. Okay, let us just okay, simply removing this will suffice. Okay, simply removing this will suffice our argument. So now the random string is still present in the set. Now let's check, it will be true, right? So this is how we can actually use the in command. Okay, so we can actually add more elements also. And the next one is let's create one more set over here, which is d equals to 9. Okay, let's keep some odd numbers. D is a set which contains odd numbers, 1 comma 3 comma 5 comma 7 comma 9. Okay, so this just contains these odd numbers, right? So everything is fine till here. So now what I'm just trying to do is let's just write it in a separate cell. I'll just write it in separate cell. Okay, so now I am just creating a different set named as D. Alright, so now we have something called as common elements in set, right? So to check the common elements in set, we can actually use this one. Okay, uh, F sorry E equals to C and logical and D, right? So now we will be getting the common elements of C and D inside E. Okay, so this will actually fetch the common elements of C and D, set C and set D into set E. Okay, so now let's print set E, print E. Okay, so we must be very much aware that in set D we have all this 1 3 5 7 9, and in set C we have 9 11.56 and random string. All right, and also we have recently added this 951. These four are the elements which are in set C, and so the common element here is only 9, right? So we must be getting 9 in set E. Let's check. All right, so this is how we find the common elements of two sets, and if we want the difference we can also find it. Okay, I'm just naming it as f equals to okay, let's just write it directly. C, write it here, C dot difference of D. Okay, so this will actually fetches the difference in elements, different elements. Okay, so this is very much similar to union of sets and intersection of sets and etc. So difference can be viewed upon as uh, well, difference is difference, but this can be viewed upon as intersection. Okay, common elements or intersection of sets. All right, so now coming to the difference, C dot difference of D, we will be fetching the different elements in both set C and set D. Okay, now C dot difference of D means whatever the elements which are in C and are not present in D. All right, so the D dot difference of C will be the different one. Okay, D dot difference of C will fetches all those elements which are in D, which are in set D and are not in set C. Okay, we can actually look that 1 3 5 and 7 are present in set D, 1 3 5 and 7, but these are not present in set C, right? So that's how we can actually find the differences, different elements. Okay, present in C and not D, here vice versa. Okay, vice versa. So this is about the set difference and also intersection. We can also use the word intersection directly. There is no issue over here. So if I just type C dot intersection of D, you will be getting the intersection of elements between C and D. Okay, which is 9, which is same as this one. We can actually use either of this symbol or like this. Okay, so we'll just keep it over here itself, the same operation. Control V. All right, so we will be adding 2 times 9 and 9. Okay, so the same will be the answer. So now next operation in sets is union. Okay, we have studied the union of sets in mathematics. So similarly the concept is same, but we will be doing it in coding. That's it. So the code for union is C dot union of D. Simple, of D. Okay, so now we will be getting all those elements which are present in C and D together, and the duplicate elements will be cut down, struck down. Okay, so we have 1 11.56 3 7 3 5 7 9. Okay, all these things are present in both C and D combined together. Okay, union of sets. And then we also have a term called as superset and subset in sets, right? So the last one, supersets, superset and subset. So we can actually check whether any set is a superset or subset of another set by using these things like set A, set C dot. We have to check it with this one is superset of D. Okay, so the answer must be no, right? False, because set C does not contain all the elements of set D, right? So let us create one more set E over here. E equals to 1 comma 3 comma 4 4 comma 5 comma 7 comma 9 comma 11. All right, so now if we take a closer look, we can actually understand that E has all these things. I will just write everything right here. D equals to set, this is the set D. Just a second. Okay, so now D equals to this, and where is C? And let's also create C over here. Well, this is enough anyways. So now D equals to 13579, right? So we have created it, and E equals to 13457 9 and 11. So if we take a closer look, we can actually observe that all the elements which are present in D are present in E. Okay, so we can actually say that E is a superset of D, right? So now let us check set E is superset of D. True, right? Because all the elements are present, right? So similarly, if we check for subset, let's just keep this aside and comment it. And the next one is set D dot is subset. We have to set and check for subset of E, whether it is a subset of E or not. So we have to get true, right? Because D is a subset of E. And if we check for set E is subset of D, the answer must be false, right? Because it's not subset of E. All right. So these are the major set operations which we have learnt in mathematics, and we can actually literally perform in Python, using Python. Okay. So I hope the concept of sets and set theory is completely clear, and thank you.